Joining us now is President Trump's personal attorney, former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani, renowned federal prosecutor. Rudy, great to have you with us, and let's talk about where you let's talk about where you are right now in Pennsylvania first.
Well, first of all, in Pennsylvania, we filed our suit yesterday, where we have a schedule with the federal judge now to given our briefs. We hope to have a hearing as soon as possible. We'll have to figure out if we want to call all of our 50 witnesses or some of our 50 witnesses. I can assure you we have affidavits galore to back up what we're saying, and that what's being said in the mass media that we have no evidence is a complete, absolute lie, just like they've been lying for years. And we're ready to go. I mean, we could go to trial tomorrow. I don't think the state is ready to go to trial. They clearly corralled Republicans, put them there like animals, wouldn't let them see any of the ballots that were being counted. We now are up to a count of about 650,000 ballots that are unlawful ballots that were cast in Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. No doubt about the fact they're unlawful. The law set by the state legislature that under the Constitution gets to govern presidential elections was that every ballot had to be observed by a Republican and a Democrat. Well, none got observed by a Republican. Almost none. Well, certainly 635,000. So we are going
and that's happening in a number of these states. That is keeping Republicans away from the counting process, which is their right to be in that and responsibility.
I have a whole group more lawsuits to bring like that. We brought another one late last night. I guess maybe it didn't get as much attention. In some ways, it's bigger than Pennsylvania. It's the one in Michigan. The one in Michigan, the same thing, about 320,000. However, the one in Michigan has some very, very interesting witnesses. One witness is an employee of the city, a Democrat, who became so incensed and upset with what she called massive cheating that she decided she would give an affidavit. They started training her in September. She said they started training her to cheat. They taught her how to eliminate signatures that didn't look good, how to file ballots even if they didn't have signatures, how to find places to get people who aren't registered by going to the registration book, finding a person who hadn't registered in a long time, or putting in a new name. During the pre-election period, when people came in for mail vote for early voting, a lot of them were taken over to the machine or to place they're going to vote by Democratic workers who taught them and showed them how to vote for Biden. She did it herself at the request of her superior. And then she said the situation when they were counting the mail ballots was an atrocity, that Republicans were shut out.
You know,
the ballots were counted. The ballots were counted without even looking at whether the envelopes were certified or not. That there were many ballots that looked exactly the same way: Biden, 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 Biden. And
one of the things that I think is interesting too is what's happening with the data itself. It appears that there has been manipulation. One MIT PhD talking about the 138,000 votes being switched from Trump to Biden in Michigan. We know that what is interesting, too, is we've got witnesses charging that happened. In another instance, it's 128,000 votes. But we're not hearing any follow-up and how rigorously that's being pursued, because it should be, it seems to me, Mr. Prosecutor, a role for the FBI. The Attorney General has said go after substantial fraud. This is substantial fraud charges.
I'm sorry, the what? The FBI. The FBI that's been non-existent for 2.5 years, when it has overwhelming evidence of the crimes committed by the Biden crime family, and have ignored it. You think I'm going to rely on the FBI to save the country? So here's the reality.
Rudy, you don't sound like that. Rudy, you don't sound like you're following Joe Biden's counsel and suggesting we heal here. That seemed very skeptical of healing.
I'm suggesting
quite the inverse.
I'm suggesting we do what we usually do when we're a decent American, that we put criminals in jail. And they're a bunch of criminals, not only in the way they carried out the election and the way in which they took money, millions, but now this is probably the most crooked election ever run anywhere. I mean, it's impossible, Lou, that in 10 different jurisdictions that all are crooked democratic machines, they did exactly the same thing. I mean, they didn't think of it themselves. Somebody told them, put the Republicans in corrals, steal the votes. We have another situation in Michigan that's horrendous.
Ruddy, Ruddy, can we save that for tomorrow night?
Sure.
Because we're at the end of the broadcast right now. Thank you.
Just 100,000 votes they stole.
Yes, sir. Ruddy Giuliani, thanks for being with us, and thanks for everything you do.